Hello, in this video I'm going to be ranking all 5 Asian teams in the 2018 World Cup. This will be the first World Cup with 5 Asian teams. Here you see them arranged to sort of their geographical sort of layout on the globe. I mean, they're spaced much more farly apart than this, but this was the maximum that my camera lens would allow me to space them out. All the way on the extreme west end, you have Saudi Arabia. Up more to the northeast is Iran. Way far to the east is South Korea and Japan, and all the way down under in the Pacific is Australia. And I'm going to be ranking them according to quality, who I think right now are the best teams in Asia, as well as ranking them according to chances of advancing out of their group in the World Cup. So let me jump right in. The best team in Asia right now, in my opinion, is still the best team that I said it was last summer. It is Iran. Conceding no goals in Asian World Cup qualifying final round until the last match day against Syria when they had already clinched qualification. Iran is looking really, really solid right now. Their whole domestic program is going through a golden era at the moment. The national team is going through the golden era at the moment. The domestic league is the best shape it's ever been in. They are probably the best defensive team in Asia, and I think still the best team in Asia. I don't think much has changed since last summer. They're very well managed right now by Carlos Queiroz, and keep in mind, Iran in the last World Cup almost got a big result against Argentina. I think this team now is even bigger. One minor weakness, I would say, is they don't tend to score a lot of goals in their games, but they're tactically very, very well disciplined, and that makes me put them at the top of Asia right now, or at least at what keeps them at the top of Asia at the moment. Second place is Japan, under coach Vahid Halilhodžić. They finished at the top of Group B in the final round of Asian qualifying, and these two teams, Iran and Japan, both won their groups, finishing at the top of Asian qualifying. So it's no surprise that these are the two best teams. Third, in my opinion, even though they went through to the playoff, I think it's Australia. A respectable performance in the Confederations Cup. They did not qualify directly, but that was mostly because of their own undoing, tinkering with the lineups from Ange Postecoglou. They did get the better of Saudi Arabia in their group. That's why I think they are a better team. But, Australia almost really shot themselves in the foot, having to go to play Honduras in the two-legged playoff to get here. I don't think their performance was reflective of the best of their abilities. I still think they are the third best team in Asia, and they're still the current Asian champions as well. Number 4, this is going to generate a little bit of disagreement. I think I have Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia was really well managed under Bert van Marwijk. They have Juan Antonio Pizzi, who won the Copa America Centenario with Chile now with them. They're preparing very well for the World Cup, and I'm actually going to make a separate video about what Saudi Arabia is doing to prepare for Russia, because it's actually insane. They're having a shit ton of training camps, and I think as many as 8 friendlies being played between now and June, which is very smart, and I'm going to make a separate video on that. And then the 5th, yeah, it is South Korea. I tell you, I don't go by on history. I don't care what they did back in 2002. I don't care that they always qualify for World Cups. I'm harsh. I go on current form, and South Korea had one of the most lackluster qualification phases, I think, one of the most lackluster of any team I've ever seen. 2 0-0 draws, barely scraping their way past the finish line to finish second in a very tight Group A of Asian qualifying. If one other result had gone against them, you could have seen China or Syria or Uzbekistan qualify directly, sending South Korea to the playoffs. It seems to be same old, same old. The last cycle in 2014, they sucked, and they're not doing very well right now. Yes, they have talented individuals, Son being one of them. Under 23 level, they're a pretty decent side Olympic team. Senior men's national team, they went through a whole coaching crisis where they just got a new manager, Young Tai-se, got rid of Uli Stekel, and I don't think they're in great shape at the moment. I really don't think South Korea is in great shape, and I would not be surprised if they finish bottom of their group in the World Cup with 0 points. This is, in my mind, the worst South Korean team of recent memory. Now, how would I rank them according to likelihood to come out of the groups? Well, Saudi Arabia has to be at the top of this list. I do think they're better in quality than people give them credit for. And on top of that, they are in the easiest group with host nation Russia. They're in the opening match against them, Egypt and Uruguay. All it takes is just one team in that group to slip up, and you could see Saudi Arabia slip in second. And I don't think they're that far off from Russia and Egypt. I'm giving Saudi Arabia a little more credit here. The second most likely to advance is Australia, because I think their group with France, Denmark, and Peru is more of a wild card group. And like I said in previous videos, France is an every other year World Cup team. And I can see any two teams from that group advancing. I think it's more, like I said, it's more unpredictable. Australia could slip in there. The third most likely to advance is Japan. They are in a very doable group with Poland, Colombia, and Senegal. They're not in a group with any superpower. Poland is a great team. Colombia is a very strong team. They're probably the two favorites to come out, but Japan could have had much worse. They got the seeded team after Russia that everyone wanted to get, which was Poland. No disrespect to Poland. The reason why I have Japan below Australia, though, is because I think Japan's group is probably more well-rounded than Australia, and I don't think it's going to be as unpredictable. That's why I give Australia the slight edge, as a slightly higher chance of coming out, but it's almost negligible. You can pretty much flip them if you want. Next is South Korea. Yes, I think they're the worst team from Asia that qualified, but they don't have to deal with two superpowers in their group like Iran does, unfortunately. Again, this is following a very interesting pattern of the best teams from their respective regions being the least likely to advance because of the groups they're in. I mean, Iran has Spain, Portugal, and one of the best teams in Africa. Not the best, but one of the best teams in Africa, in Morocco. It's a tight group. So, in order of likely to advance to least likely to advance, it's Saudi Arabia, Australia, Japan, South Korea, and Iran. But you know what's interesting, guys? The gap in quality here in Asia, it's not very, very large. So I can definitely understand. I can definitely get a case for any combination of these teams here in any order that you think they would. You know, no one's necessarily right or wrong here. So leave a comment below, like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one later today. Until then, have a good one. Much love and peace out.